Hey guys, so Viseart is releasing 2 brand new Petit Pro palettes today on March 1st, and I'm going to be recording 2 videos, one for each palette. I didn't want to mash it all together, so I have another video up on the Pkwy palette, which is the warmer, more peachy palette, but this video is going to be on the Soleil palette, which is this bright beauty right here. So Viseart was generous enough to send me these 2 palettes to review and demo for you guys, and they will be available on Beautylish exclusively for, I'm assuming, $30, which is how much the previous Petit Pro palettes have been. So if you're familiar with the previous Petit Pro palettes, they normally came with, or I should say they usually came with, 4 matte shadows up here and 4 shimmer shades down here, but they mixed it up a little bit. There are 3 matte shades and 4 shimmer metallic shades. So these 3 are the mattes, and then these 5 are the shimmers. So here is a close-up of the palette, and you can see that we have some really bright, fun shades. And let's go ahead and do some swatches. So I have the first row from left to right, and then the second row from left to right. So we have Pastille, Taffy, Watermelon, and Pastis. And then we have Bonbon, Lavender, Marmalade, and Soleil. So the packaging of this palette is just like the other Petit Pro palettes. It is about business card size, it's magnetized, it folds out, there is a little mirror inside, and then you have 8 magnetized pans in here which pop out really easily. And then the most obvious difference is they went ahead and actually color coded these. So this one, the Soleil one, is yellow, which is really bright, so much fun. I feel like this just screams summertime. So in terms of performance, I think all of the shadows in here perform beautifully. They go onto the lid and are just really blendable, really easy to use. So the 3 matte colors in here are very typical Viseart matte shadows. This purple will seem really hard and dry when you swatch it, but I think it's because it's just so pigmented. So when I went in the demo, I used it today, I just kind of took my time with it. You know, I just kind of built it up slowly. You don't really want to kind of go in hard with that particular color. And then these 2 matte shades feel a little bit softer in the pan. The 5 metallics in here are really beautiful. This shade up here kind of just looks like a red satin in the pan, but once you get it onto the lid or once you swatch it, you'll see that it has a really pretty kind of gold undertone to it, and it just has like a really nice smooth sheen to it. This shade down here reminds me of the shades that are in the Pkwy palette. So it's a little bit of like a looser kind of formula. I don't want to say chunky. So when I applied it, and again you'll see this in the demo, I patted this onto the lid using my Sonia G Builder 1 brush. And once I get it down and once I pat it down, it stays put, and I didn't experience any fallout with this shade. I did experience a little bit of fallout with this purple matte shade when I was using it as liner, but nothing horrible, and I don't think actually you can see any of it. I just had like a little bit on the side of my nose here, and I just kind of flicked them away and they were gone. This one and these 2 shades are just really beautiful metallic shades. They're just smooth, they're reflective, they have a pretty high impact on the lid. I just think they're really gorgeous. I used this shade down here on the inner portion of my lid, and again you'll see it in the demo, and it's so beautiful. It just goes on really smoothly, and I've used all the shades in this palette. I received this palette along with the other one I think a little bit over a week ago at this point, and so I've been playing around with both of them, and I have been able to play around with all the shades. Today I used all of the mattes, these 3 mattes, and then these 2 metallic shades. I was really tempted to use these, but I feel like I've been doing a lot of like peachy or red toned looks lately. So I was like, let me just make sure I use the purple. So that's what I did today. So overall, I think this palette is so much fun. It is definitely out of my comfort zone, as you can probably tell. This is definitely not going to be a look that I'm going to wear every day, but I love the fun vibe from this. This is one of those palettes that I open up and I feel inspired. I feel like, ooh, like let me use this, like let me play around with this, where a lot of palettes don't do that. Even if they're beautiful, I'll open them up and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this today. This one makes me want to go out of my comfort zone. It makes me want to experiment a little bit. And like I just broke down, I think the performance of all the shadows are really beautiful. So I'm just going to hold up a few other Viseart palettes that I thought you may think there are dupes in. So this shade, like I had mentioned, reminded me of Pkwy shades. And there was a shade in the Pkwy palette that I thought maybe this could be close, but it is not really. So the 2 shades in the Pkwy palette, the one in the Soleil palette has that blue kind of duochrome, and neither of the purples in the Koi palette have that. The one shade that is very, very close in this palette is the matte yellow shade. This is the Editorial Brights shade, and this is in the new Viseart 12 pan packaging, and Viseart actually just sent this to me, so I haven't even used it yet, but the yellows in there are pretty much a dupe for one another. And then I just wanted to hold it up to the Petit Pro 2 palette because I think they're actually very complementary. So this is Petit Pro 2, and I feel like this one is just kind of like an amped up version of this. So this matte shade in here I feel like is like the satiny shade in here, and this shade in here is very close to this shade in here. They're not dupes, but I feel like they're very related, and I think these would be very complementary palettes to one another. Alright, so if you'd like to see a demo on this eye look, that is coming right up. I'm going to start with this light matte shade here and my large Suku eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to sweep this all over the lid. Next I'm going to take my Sonia G Builder Pro brush and I'm going to go into the matte yellow color and add that to my crease area. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this matte purple shade to the outer corner of my eye and just blend it into the center of my lid, just ever so slightly. I just want to start off really lightly. And I'm going to use my Sonia G Builder Pro brush. Oh, what did I use before? Sorry, that was the Blender Pro that I used for the yellow. Sorry, I think I said Builder Pro. This is the Builder Pro brush that I'm going in with. Next, I'm going to take my Sonia G Builder 1 brush. I'm going to go into this purple metallic shade. And I'm going to place this on the center of my lid and bring it out to the matte purple. Alright, I've got that on the center of my lid, and now what I'm going to do is put this color, this orangey color, I'm going to put that on the inner portion of my lid. So I'm going to take my Sonia G Smudger 1 brush, which is like a mini Builder 1 brush, and I'm going to go into that shade and place that on the inner portion of my lid here. I'm getting a serious carnival look here. I love it. I'm just going to take my Blender Pro brush. I'm going to go back into that yellow and dip it also into this nude color over here. Kind of go back and forth and then just run that over all the colors here and blend that out a little bit. I'm going to take this Builder Pro again, go back into that deep purple matte shade and really kind of emphasize it on the outer corner here. I think it got lost a little bit. And now I'm going to take my Sigma E68 brush. I'm going to go back into that dark matte purple shade and line my eyes. Alright, so that is my finished eye look. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So here is my final makeup look. I will link to everything that's on my face down below in my description box as I usually do. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please let me know if you have any questions down below in the comment section and subscribe before you leave if you haven't already. And I'll see you in my next video.